Yeah, sorry I'm late. I was just having my dinner. Right. What's that? Something in my... What? In my moustache? What? There? There. There? Bit there? There? Well, there? There. Go on. How about that? Ready? Jolly good. Right. Hello and welcome to Tweed's Garage, where in this video we're going to be getting into rubber. Yeah, not that sort of thing. Changing tyres on the Bantam. I've done the front wheel and the back wheel. In this video we cover the front wheel. The back wheel's fairly similar. There are a few oddities that I'll come across, but I'll pop that in another video. So yeah, this is just mainly taking the front wheel off, taking the old tyre off, putting a new tyre on, new inner tube, rim tape, that kind of thing. I know for you old boys out there, old seasoned campaigners, it's all, you know, water off a duck's back. You've seen it, done it. But on some of my, what are they called? What's the words? Statistics I have on the viewers that tune in. It used to be all older gentlemen, and you're all welcome along, and we have a good chat. But I've actually got some youngsters coming along, you know, sort of under 30. And so for them, changing a tyre, it doesn't matter whether it's on a bicycle, motorcycle, vintage cars you can get away with, but once you get onto sort of modern cars, yeah, set of tyre levers trying to change a tyre, you wouldn't do it. I mean, you might do it in an emergency, but yeah, a sort of tubeless tyre you'd struggle with. But so this is for people out there that want to know how to change a tyre. We also do other stuff at the end. We put new brakes in, new bearings and all that kind of thing. But there's a lot of puffing and blowing, a lot of there you go going on as I wrestle with the old tyre, taking it off and putting a new tyre on and trying to give you some indications to try and help you succeed in doing a tyre repair, tyre change, or repairing a puncture, all that kind of thing. So for the youngsters out there, it's handy if you've got, you know, bicycles, mountain bikes, electric bicycles, you know, and you might not know how to do it. So yeah, watch this and it will give you a clue. Okay, so let's watch an old man puffing and blowing on the floor. Here we go. So first thing we need to do is disconnect the front brake cable by undoing this screw here, releasing it here, and then it will come out of its holder on the brake back plate, and then undo the 4 bolts to this side, to the other side, then hopefully the front axle will drop out the bottom and we can take the wheel out and get on and change the tyre. Toolbox or box of tools. Wonder what odd size nut we have on the back here. Where's my King Dick gone? There he is, 1935. Must have been adjustable Imperial. Back off the adjuster a bit. Should come out of there, but it seems a bit tight. Doesn't want to come out of the slot. I won't force it, otherwise it makes another job. Okay, it's 1/2 inch AF. A lot of these are Whitworth on it. These aren't. Right, see if we can do this single-handedly. Got some bodgery going on here. crop it out there and sort it out later. Here we go, front wheel out. Let's just steady the bike. Jenkins is away at the moment thinking about his behaviour. There we go. Right. On with the wheel. So let's get this back plate off. I just got the spindle supported in the vise on the other end because there's no sort of flats or any way to grab it since I've taken it out the bike. Seems reasonable. There we go, and we can check what state the bearings are in. One hopes they're okay, but suspects I've probably got to replace them. Yeah. I think a new pair of brake shoes is required. This has been rubbed down to the rivet here, it's running on the rivet. Not sure if you can get new ones or have to get these new linings re-riveted on them. I shall find out. Blind this side so everything goes through that way. I think I saw a circlip on the other side. Oh, circlip, so glad you could make it. There he is. Okay, so to get him with a fighting chance, I've got these Halfords Advanced. No affiliation with them, but their professional line's pretty good, and they've got a lifetime guarantee on, so what's not to like? Let's have a look, see. We need to squeeze. Everybody likes a squeeze, right. What size is the hole? Oh, the holes are tiny on them. A little bit of exercise. Come on. Obviously made the hole just that little bit too small, so with it compressed you can't slide it out the hole. There we go. There we go. If we overlap them, out it comes. Hammer time. No, not hammer time. And then this side, there's a little pin collar in there, and it's and it says left hand on there as well, which is nice because normally they don't, and find out later at your cost. And I do actually have some pin spanners, bear with. And yep, they're still bloody useless because the gap's too big in the middle to get near anything. Well done, fake 'em. Right, shouldn't really use these for these. Lefty. Oh, right. There you go. There we go. Remove that. And we have a bearing in there. I think the bearings are pretty shot by the feel of it. Ooh, grindy. I'll just give the shaft a tap, see if it'll come out. Yep, it's moved a little bit. Knock it back the other way. Clean that shaft up so it'll knock through. Show you what I'm doing. Just scraping off years of crud. Focus, there you go. I don't think that's crucial there because there's a little step just there. So I think once we get it beyond there, we're okay. We'll just knock off these grotty little high spots. Let's give it a bit of liquid assistance. And the Thor tool of persuasion.
Hammer time!
Bonk! One bearing and a shaft.
Right on.
And then the other one knocks out the other way. I think that's all the way. Yep. Bingo. Not too bad. But we'll replace that anyway. Right, with the wheel strip down, now got the fun of putting a new tyre on it. Off we go then. So I've got new tyres which are in the conservatory warming up a bit. Got new tubes to go in to replace these old tyres because they've had it. They're all cracked on the sidewalls there, and they're sort of Dunlop lightweight reinforced sort of on the side. God knows how old they are. Predates dates on the tyres, I think. So yeah, I don't know, 8, 9, no, I don't think they're that. I think they're older than that. Okay, so first thing to do is we've got gloves to help us wrestle with, set of tyre irons. I've managed to pick up these Dunlop ones over time. If you ever see them at car boots, sort of, yeah, pick them up, because if Dunlop made them, they must know, they must work, because they know a thing or two about tyres. These are the sort of, you know, the ones you normally get at the auto jumbles and that, these sort of Chinese ones. I've got this one as well at the last resort, but it does tend to rip holes in the tubes, but you know, if you need to get some leverage, that'll work as well. Okay, so that's that. I've got some cut down milk container strips of plastic for using as rim protectors. Might work, might not, but anything will help. Try and protect the chrome, what there is of it. And I treated myself to I had to buy a massive tin of it, and I do small tins of it, but some tyre bead paste to help sort of put the new tyres on, but also put some on the old tyres to help get them off. Okay, so let's get cracking. Gloves on. So first thing you need to do is let the air out of the old tyre, which I've done with this one. You can just depress the valve with a suitable screwdriver, or if you've got one of the little tools, you can take the valve out, but we've expelled all the air out of there. Just hold it down and squeeze it out. And I've got the wheel resting on the floor, so it has the least amount of offset resting against the floor. I mean, you won't be standing, you know, against the centre. You'll be standing on the rim against the floor that way. But yeah, see, the other way, it rocks around too much. You don't want that, so set it that way. Take the valve stem collar off. There we go. That's it. And just hopefully press that in. If you were trying to save the tube, you'd push the valve in as far as you can, try and push the tube up this way, and then this is where you'd start with the tyre levers. Okay. So what we'll do is just run a bit of this around the inside of the rim. But what you'd have to do initially, I've done it already, is break the bead. So this is the bead of the tyre here, this is the rim, and it normally seals up tight, pushes up tight against the rim of the wheel. And when you get a bit of corrosion in there and that, it won't come off. And especially on tubeless tyres, I mean, you wouldn't be doing tubeless tyres at home unless you've got a tyre changer. But for tube tyres, you want to break the tyre away from the rim of the wheel, like that. If it's really stubborn, then you can go along with your feet and stand on it like that. Move your way around and get it to break from the rim. because you want to try and be able to force the bead of the tyre down into this ridge to lessen the amount of effort you need to pull the bead over the rim. Okay, so let's just put some bit of lubrication on there just to help matters, as we've got a big tub of it. Hopefully it shouldn't be too bad. And then we'll start off by the valve. Push that out the way. Push the rim down the opposite side. See, it rides up. You want to try and force that down. Okay, there's one. Sometimes you can hook them under the spokes. These are a bit narrow, these spokes though. So that's one. And then you work your way, hopefully about an inch, a couple of inches, 2 to 3 inches further along. Again, pushing that down off the rim. Okay, and if you can get 3, again, keep it down in the well of the wheel to reduce the distance that this has to go, stretch over. And yeah, if you can pick yourself up some extra tyre levers, it does make life a bit easier. Unfortunately they're quite round. This one might be better, just to get under the bead of the tyre. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to go. I just need to get it. Yeah, try not to be greedy going down here too far, because you want to get under, just get under the bead of the tyre. Let's put that in there. There we go. Just find your sweet spot. That one can come out now. You get to a point where it gets easier. Make sure. Try and force that down. Smells nice anyway. No, try and go a bit further that way. Okay, then move along. Move along. Wrong side. There we go. Right. Yep. And you get to a point that it starts to get a lot easier. You're on the home straight. There we go. And there we go. So we're halfway there. Okay, so take that out. And then what we'd try and do, if we were saving the tubes, try and retrieve the tube. So push the valve, make sure the valve's all the way out. Ease it round the rim of the wheel. If the tyre as high as you can get it, ease access of the tube. Lift it up. Wow, there's not a shower of rust coming out with it, so that's a good sign that the rim's okay on the inside. One tube out, so we're going again. But what we do, see there's sort of rust on there. We want to make life a bit easier for us. Smear a bit of that soap on the inside edge of the tyre. Okay, and again, force the bead down into this dip, into this recess here, just to make the distance shorter from there to get the inner bead over the rim. You know, if you have it going from here, look, you're losing about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of movement this side. So in with a tyre lever again, and then just put a bit of protection behind, like that, and then lift that bead over. There we go. There's one. Then move it round a bit. Might have to use this one again. Okay, then in again, just work our way around. There we go, broken the back of it. We might be able to pull it off. There we go. Force the wheel down onto the bead, and out she comes. Time for the bin for that one. So let's check our rim. Can you see? Yeah, not too bad. Just give it a bit of a brush down. Tape's okay. Might run a bit of tape round over, insulation tape round over the top of it, just to help it out a bit. And I'll just sort of put a bit of rust proof on this rust here, but not too bad really. Pretty good nick. Okay, then we move on to putting the tyre on. Part 2. There's the brush. I had to put it out of the way. Dog was eating the tyre soap, so just treated the rust around the rim. Tidied it up a bit, cleaned out all the bearing surfaces. It needs new bearings, so I'll have to order some new bearings, unfortunately, so we won't get back on the bike this afternoon. So first thing, put on rim tape, which is this, and you put this on because it protects the tube from rubbing on the end of the spokes in the wheel there. You see that? Let's put a bit of light on the subject for you. There, see? So you make sure that the spokes aren't coming through too far. If any have moved, just get a little Dremel and grind off the top of them. So first thing, put the tape on. And they sort of say rough side inwards. There is a rough side. That's a bit smoother. And then of course you've got your hole for your valve. So that lines up with your hole on your rim for your valve to go through. And you can never find it. There it is. So that, pop that on. Line it up there. Just feed the tape around the rim. And then just make sure it's sitting in line What I'll do is poke something through there just to keep it in line. Just make sure the rim's sitting there, covering all the spoke holes. The other one was okay, but I just had some new ones kicking around anyway, so I'll put new ones on these and I'll order new ones for the Excelsior. They're not dear. Okay, so with that on, again place our wheel with the shallower offset on the floor, and then got our inner tube. Yeah, correct size for this wheel, 3.00 by 18. And just take off the valve cover. Oh, it's quite a nice little valve cover on there. And the rim nut as well. And these have a nice dimpled washer to sit in the dimple on the rim. Nice sturdy. Oh, they're the Mitas one. You ordered them from the same company, so it's the actual company that import Mitas tyres. It's a nice, yeah, decent looking tube. Then we've got the tyre as well. Try and get it all in shot for you. Unbreakable. Okay. Okay, now these have got a direction of rotation marked on them. So we need to make sure they go on the right way. Direction of rotation is this way, because this is the left hand side of the wheel and the drum's on the right hand side. So our tyre needs to go that way. Okay, so first thing to do, feed the tube in. Then what we do, pop a bit of air in it, just to get it to hold its shape. You're not trying to put too much pressure in, just basically getting it to hold its shape. So you can keep it out of the way of the tyre irons, or levers, irons or levers, depends what country. A little bit more because it's drooping out a bit. So we need to line the valve up where we're going to go. Okay, make sure our rotation is still right. Wheel goes this way, tyre goes this way. Okay. And then what we'll do, just lubricate the rim up a bit for that. Now it's easier getting this side on over the rim because you're pushing a nice sort of tapered rounded edge, pushing this over that. The trouble comes when you're trying to get this side over because you're fighting this sharp edge, and also it wants to fold outwards over the rim. So just gently put a bit of this on. It's unusual stuff. It smells like hospitals for some reason. God knows what it's got in it. It's not unpleasant, but it smells a bit like disinfectant. Right, and then let's get it on that flange edge there, because that's the bit we want to go over the rim of the wheel. Can you guess what it is yet? Boom, 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 boom. Can't say that anymore. Right. Okay, rotation, direction. That way. So, I want to get the valve in first. Little devil. Right, just put the nut on it. Just just to stop it disappearing back inside. Okay, and then like the way we took it off, we're trying to push the back bead to try and sit in here, so it shortens the distance for the bead to get over the rim. And then this one, you can just ease it round both ways. Sometimes you're lucky and get the whole thing on. Make sure it's sitting in that ridge. And just, there we go. Just like that. And we just check our valve. And then the same again. Start at the valve. Just a little bit of air out of that tube. Just fighting it a bit. Okay. We'll get a bit of foot pressure on there just to help. There we go. Spin that nut down a bit so the tube stays where we want it. And then just go around with your feet for a while. Get it in with your heel. And then force it down back into that channel to try and shorten the length of the tyre. You're getting over the rim, that's it. Now we're getting to the point we need tyre levers. Just be careful because you've got your new tube in there now, so. Don't try and do masses. Just a little bit over, there we go. Keep your knee on the other side to stop it coming off. There we go, you have to get a bit up close and personal with it now. That's it. Let's try the smaller one. I'll leave that one in there for a bit. I'll get to the tricky bit once this goes over. It starts getting a bit tight. Don't worry about that, we'll fish that out in a minute. It's nearly there. One last push and that'll pop over. He says, let's get the smaller one in there. There we go. Then you can take tire levers out, pull out your bits of paper, bits of plastic, make sure it's set, and then we just bounce it around a bit just to seat it. See how our valve's doing. It's sitting alright, it's nice and straight there. Pressure's about 16 on the front, but we'll take it a bit higher, take it to 30. See how it looks. Just check. See that line there? You see it sits on the rim nicely. There's no little tucks where it disappears in or rides higher. Yeah. Same the other side. There you go. Then we just sort of let the air out to the correct pressure, and we're about there. Valve cap on. Okay, it's time to reassemble my front wheel with the new wheel bearings. So I've got all the pieces laid out, a couple of sockets to drive the bearings back in with, and doing it the correct way. I'm using the manual. So here we go. Right, I need to put the larger of the bearings in first, driving it from the outside. So there's this one. Yep, that's okay. And when you're driving a bearing in, you always want to drive in the outer face. You don't want to drive in the inner. Put strain on the inner face when you're dropping it into a hole, because you'll load up. What you'll do, you'll impact this, and you'll damage the ball bearings between here and here, because you're sort of this bit isn't fixed. So on the outside, if you're driving it on a shaft, with the shaft coming through, then it's the other way. You find something to fit on the inner race, and you drive the inner race in over the shaft, so you don't load up the ball bearings as you're driving it in. And Brunel the bearings, as it's called, where you sort of dent the shape of the ball into the race of the bearing. Fixing collar. Right, here we go. Not quite the correct tool. Close enough. And actually, I've never found a pair of circlips that these fit. So next, we get that little bit of grease, just let that go on. And then there was a shim to go on, this one. Come off with it. Goes behind the bearing there. And then we drive that in from the other side. Okay, might have to move it. Way home. We've got our next bearing to go on. A bit of grease in there. This one might be a bit tricky because I don't think my socket is deep enough to go over there. No, hang on. Got lots of offcuts of this scaffold tube to make a drift for the bearing, so hold on to those bits of scraps, boys. They always come in handy. Just face it off, part it off, that'll do the job. Bit of chamfer, cheeky chamfer. stuff is made of, but it machines quite nicely. Chamfer it off a little bit. Won't matter too much because we'll be beaten with that hammer. Got a little bit further to go yet. I don't want to bang on this. Somebody's banged on that before and pushed the centre in, so the centre was rubbing on the bearing. I've pressed it all out so it's flat, and then this actually sits away from the revolving surface of the bearing. There we go. Pop that down with a screwdriver. That's it. Wheel bearings installed. Ready to go back on. Now we've got the bearings replaced on the front wheel and all cleaned up, ready to go back on. I'm going to change these brake shoes, as I said on a previous video. When I looked at the state of them, the rivets were wearing through in places on one of the shoes. The other one was okay, but yeah, they were sort of beyond the point of acceptable wear. So I purchased a new set of brake shoes for the front and rear. It says they're Girling on the box, so not sure whether they are or not, but they look fairly genuine. These are sort of sintered brake pad material, and they're sort of bonded to the shoes rather than riveted like the old ones. And for those that are not aware of changing shoes before, most shoes normally have just a straight edge where the shoe material is cut and then put onto the shoes. So what you used to have to do was file a leading edge onto the shoe to help them bed in a bit easier. But these new ones come with the leading edge filed down at each end for you already, so it'll help them bed in when we start to use them. So what I'll do is I'll remove the brake shaft from the brake drum, and it just gives us a little bit of a ease up on the spring pressure and makes it life a bit easier just taking the shoes off. You know, you can pull them off and then put the new ones on, but anything that makes life easier is worth doing and saving your knuckles. So we'll do that. We'll pull that out. So with that out of the way, we just have to lever the shoe off of the post at the back and forward slightly and tilt it, and then you can just sort of pull them to the side and relieve the spring tension, and then they just come off like that. And then hopefully it will be the same case of putting the new ones back on. But first, what I'm going to do is clean up this back plate. So we cleaned the brake shaft up, cleaned out the greaseway. I won't use this a lot. I'll grease the shaft when I put it in. Probably just give it a little squirt initially just to keep it lubricated, but you don't want to go too mad with it, because not only does it go that way, on the outside it also comes inboard, and you can end up contaminating your shoes by getting too much grease in the brake drum. So yeah, so that's clean, ready to go back on. So I'll wipe my hands off of any grease and we'll get the new shoes out ready to go on. A little smear of grease on the back post. Put a bit in there. Lubricate the new shaft when it goes in, and then some on the cam. Some on the shaft. ready to pop in. So the new shoes come with the brake material, a modern brake material, bonded on rather than riveted like the old ones, and it comes with a new set of springs to go on as well. So we'll pop these on. Okay, we need to get them on there like that. Oh, the hooks are a lot more open on these new ones than they are on the old ones. So the old ones you can't get on when they're in situ, and these ones are easy to get on, but of course fall off at the slightest provocation. Okay, there we go. Right, stay there, you little bleeders. There we go, pop that over there. That's it. Nippy. There we go. We just got to put the lever back on. Remember which way round it went. There we go. Brake assembly ready to go back on again. Still got 7 fingers. There we go. So there you go. Man wrestles with rubber and wins. Hope you enjoyed the video, found something in there useful. If you didn't know how to do it, I know a lot of you boys do, but hopefully some of the youngsters coming along might take something from it. Yeah, so we're making progress on the Bantam. So we've got new tyres, new tubes, new bearings, and the front wheel and back wheel are back in, so I can roll it around. There's other jobs that I've done there. They're going to come along the way, so you've got them to see. So if you don't want to miss one, hit subscribe, and was it the bell icon as well, so you'll be reminded that there's a new video. And if you enjoyed what I've done, give us a little like, and I'll see you on the next video. Okay, cheerio. Yeah. What did I have for dinner? Oh, you wouldn't believe what I had for dinner. Right, it's time to put the wheel. Right, it's time to put the bearing. I've been working on the front and back wheel of the forgotten already. So there you go. Man wrestles with rubber and wins. Yeah, that don't sound odd, does it? Right. Hello, welcome to Tweed's Garage. We're in this week. Oh.